From translation, ISV International Standard Version. This 73rd day of the year. Today we are reading passages Joshua 12 to 15. Joshua chapter 12, verses 1 to 39. Now these are the kings of the land whom the Israelites defeated, and whose land they took possession of, east of the Jordan, from the Arnon valley to Mount Hermon, including all the Arabah eastward. Sihon king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, ruling from Aroer, which is on the edge of the Arnon valley from the middle of the valley, and half of Gilead, even to the Jabbok river, the border of the Ammonites. And the Arabah to the sea of Chinneroth eastward, and as far as the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, eastward, in the direction of Beth Jeshemoth, and in the south, under the slopes of Pisgah. And Og king of Bashan, one of the remnant of the Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled in Mount Hermon, and in Salcah, and in all Bashan, to the border of the Jeshurites and the Marcathites, and in half of Gilead, to the border of Sihon king of Heshbon. Moses the servant of the Lord and the Israelites defeated them. Moses the servant of the Lord gave their land as an inheritance to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. These are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the Israelites defeated on the west side of the Jordan, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak, that rises towards Seir, and Joshua gave it to the tribes of Israel as a possession according to their divisions, in the hill country, in the lowlands, in the Arabah, in the slopes, in the wilderness, and in the Negev. All the kings of the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The king of Jericho, 1, the king of Ari, which is beside Bethel, 1, the king of Jerusalem, 1, the king of Hebron, 1, the king of Jarmuth, 1, the king of Lachish, 1, the king of Eglon, 1, the king of Jezer, 1, the king of Debir, 1, the king of Jeddah, 1, the king of Hormah, 1, the king of Arad, 1, the king of Libnah, 1, the king of Adullam, 1, the king of Makkedah, 1, the king of Bethel, 1, the king of Tappuah, 1, the king of Hepher, 1, the king of Aphek, 1, the king of Lasharon, 1, the king of Madon, 1, the king of Hazor, 1, the king of Shimron Meron, 1, the king of Atshaph, 1, the king of Tarnak, 1, the king of Megiddo, 1, the king of Kedesh, 1, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, 1, the king of Dor in the region of Naphasdor, 1, the king of Goyim in Gilgal, 1, the king of Tirzah, 1, in all 31 kings. Joshua chapter 13, verses 1 to 33. When Joshua had grown old, the Lord said to him, "You have grown old, and there is still very much land to be possessed. This is the land that is still to be possessed, all the territory of the Philistines and all of Jesher, from the Shihah, which is east of Egypt, northward to the boundary of Ekron. It includes the 5 Philistine lords at Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron, as well as the Avites, the territory of the Canaanites, and Mearah that belongs to the Sidonians as far as Aphek to the border of the Amorites, the territory of the Jebusites, and all of Lebanon toward the sunrise, from Baal-Gad below Mount Hermon to Lebo-Hamath, all the inhabitants of the hill country from Lebanon to Misrephoth-Maim, even all the Sidonians. I myself will drive them out before the Israelites. Only divide it by lot to Israel as an inheritance, as I have commanded you. With the other half-tribe, the Reubenites and the Gadites received their inheritance that Moses had given them beyond the Jordan to the east, as Moses the servant of the Lord had given it to them. From Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland of Medeba, all the cities of Sihon king of the Amorites, who ruled in Heshbon, as far as the border of the Ammonites. Also Gilead, and the territory of the Jeshurites and Marcathites, all of Mount Hermon, and all of Bashan as far as Salcah, all the kingdom of Og in Bashan, who had reigned in Ashtaroth and in Edrei. He was one of the remnant of the Rephaim. Moses had defeated them and taken their land. However, the Israelites did not drive out the Jeshurites or the Marcathites, so Jesher and Marcath continue to live in the midst of Israel to this day. To the tribe of Levi alone Moses gave no inheritance. The offerings by fire to the Lord, the God of Israel, are their inheritance, as he had promised them. To the tribe of Moses' descendants, the Levites, Moses gave no inheritance. The Lord, the God of Israel, is their inheritance, as he had promised them. This is the inheritance that the Reubenites received, all the territory of Aroer, which is in the valley of the Arnon, and the city that is in the middle of the valley, and all the tableland by Medeba. Heshbon and all its cities that are on the plain, Dibon, Bamoth-baal, Beth-baal-meon, Jahaz, Kedemoth, Mephath, Kiriasaim, Sibmah, Zereth-shahar on the hill of the valley, Beth-peor, the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth-jeshemoth. All the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon king of the Amorites, who ruled in Heshbon, whom Moses defeated, along with the leaders of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Rabah, who were dukes of Sihon, living in the land. Along with those who were killed by them, the Balaam son of Beor, the soothsayer, the Israelites killed with the sword among those who were slain by them. The border of the Reubenites was the Jordan. This was the inheritance of the Reubenites, according to their families, with its cities and villages. And Moses gave an inheritance to the tribe of Gad, to the descendants of Gad according to their families. The territory was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the Ammonites, as far as Aroer, which is near Rabbah, from Heshbon to Ramath-Mizpeh and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Debir. And in the valley, Beit-Haram, Beth-Nimrah, Sukkot, and Zaphon, the rest of the kingdom of Sihon king of Heshbon, with the Jordan as its border, as far as the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, at the foot of the slopes of Pisgah on the east. These are the cities that were given to the descendants of Gad according to their families, the cities and their villages. To the half-tribe of Manasseh Moses gave an inheritance. This was for the other half of the descendants of Manasseh, according to their families. The territory was from Bashan, all the kingdom of Og king of Bashan, and all the settlements of Jair that are in Bashan, 60 cities, also half of Gilead and Ashtaroth and Edrei, the royal cities of Og in Bashan. These were given to the descendants of Machir son of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Manasseh. To the rest of the descendants of Manasseh, the sons of Abiezer, Helek, Asriel, Shechem, Hepher, and Shemida, these were the male descendants of Manasseh son of Joseph, according to their families. But Zelophehad son of Hepher had no sons, only daughters. The names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. Joshua chapter 14, verses 1 to 15. Now these are the areas that the Israelites received as an inheritance in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the ancestral houses of the tribes of the Israelites, distributed to them as their inheritance. Their inheritance was by lot, as the Lord had commanded through Moses, for the 9 tribes and the half-tribe. For Moses had given an inheritance to the 2 tribes and the half-tribe beyond the Jordan, but to the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. The descendants of Joseph had become 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. No inheritance was given to the Levites except cities in which to live, and their pasture lands for their livestock and their property. The Israelites did as the Lord had commanded Moses when they divided the land. The descendants of Judah approached Joshua at Gilgal, and Caleb son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said to him, "You know what the Lord said to Moses the man of God at Kadesh Barnea concerning you and me. I was 40 years old when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought back a report to him, as it was in my heart. My brothers who went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I followed the Lord my God wholeheartedly." So Moses swore on that day, saying, "Certainly the land on which your foot has trodden shall be an inheritance for you and your children forever, because you have followed the Lord my God wholeheartedly. Now behold, the Lord has kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years, ever since the Lord spoke this word to Moses, while Israel journeyed in the wilderness. So here I am today, 85 years old. I am still as strong today as I was then, for war and for going out and coming in. So now, give me this hill country of which the Lord spoke on that day. For you heard then that the Anakim were there, with large fortified cities. Perhaps the Lord will be with me, and I will drive them out, as the Lord said." Then Joshua blessed Caleb son of Jephunneh, and gave him Hebron as an inheritance. So Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite until this day, because he followed the Lord, the God of Israel, wholeheartedly. Now the name of Hebron was formerly Kiriath-Arba. Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. Then the land had rest from war. Joshua chapter 15, verses 1 to 100. The lot for the tribe of Judah, according to their families, reached the border of Edom to the wilderness of Zin at the extreme south. Their southern border extended from the end of the Salt Sea, from the bay that faces southward. It went out to the south side of the ascent of Akrabim, passed along to Zin, went up from the south to Kadesh Barnea, passed along to Hezron, up to Adar, and turned toward Karka. It then passed along to Asman, to the brook of Egypt, and the border ended at the sea. This shall be your southern border. The eastern border was the Salt Sea, as far as the mouth of the Jordan. Then the border went up to the north of Beth Hoglah, and the border ended at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of the Jordan. Then the border went up to Beth Hoglah, and continued on to the north of Beth Arabah. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan son of Reuben. From there it went up to Debir, to the north of the valley of Achor, and turned north to Gilgal, which is opposite the ascent of Adamim, which is on the south side of the valley. Then the border went on to the waters of En-Shemesh, and ended at En-Rogel. Then the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom to the south side of the Jebusite, that is, Jerusalem. The border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom to the west, at the north end of the valley of Rephaim. Then the border went from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephto, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron. Then the border went to Baalah, that is, Kiriath-Jearim. Then the border went westward to the slope of the mountain that faces the valley of Ben Hinnom, on the north side of the valley of Rephaim. It went down to the valley of Hinnom, to the slope of the Jebusite on the south, and went down to En-Rogel. Then the border went north to the spring of the waters of Nephto, went out to the cities of Mount Ephron, then went to Baalah, that is, Kiriath-Jearim. Then the border went out to the west side to Kiriath-Sepher, and went along to the mountain of the north of Kezalon, and went down to Beth-Shemesh. Then the border went through Timnah. Then the border went around to the north side of Ekron. Then the border went around to Shikron, went through the mountain and passed through Mount Baalah. Then it went out to Jabneel and ended at the sea. The western border was the Great Sea and its coastline. This is the border of the descendants of Judah according to their families. The lot for the tribe of Judah reached to the border of Edom, to the wilderness of Zin at the extreme south. And Caleb said, "Whoever attacks Kiriath-Sepher and captures it, I will give him Achsah my daughter as a wife." Othniel son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, captured it, so Caleb gave him Achsah his daughter as a wife. When she came to him, she urged him to ask her father for a field. So she alighted from the donkey, and Caleb said to her, "What do you want?" She said to him, "Give me a blessing. You have given me the land in the Negev. Now also give me the springs of water." So he gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of Judah according to their families. The cities at the extreme edge of the tribe of Judah toward the border of Edron, in the direction of the wilderness: Kabzeel, Eder, Jaga, Kinnah, Dimona, Adada, Kedesh, Hazer, Isnan, Ziph, Telem, Beloth, Hazer, Hadatta, Kirioth, Hezron, which is Hazer, Amam, Shamar, Molada, Hazar-Gada, Hazar-Shual, Bethaphra, Kislish, Eshtemoa, Ithel, Ashna, Zior, Jutta, Zano, Enganim, Tapua, Inam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Soko, Zano, Eshtal, Shemesh, Shalabin, Ajalon, Jeththa, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibeson, Bala, Jehud, Benibarak, Gathrimmon, Ajalon and Rabbah, with their villages: Zenan, Hadasha, Migdal-Gad, Dilian, Mizpeh, Jokthel, Lachish, Boskath, Eglon, Kaban, Lamam, Chitlish, Jederoth, Beit Dagon, Nama and Makkedah, with their villages: Ekron with its villages and its towns. From Ekron to the sea, all that lay near Ashdod with their villages: Ekron, Ashdod and their villages. From the sea, all the cities of the Ashtakites, including their villages. The territory of Gaza, the Ashdodites and their towns, as far as the Wadi of Egypt and the Great Sea, with its coastline. In the hill country: Shamir, Jatir, Soko, Dana, Kiriath-Sana, that is, Debir, Anab, Eshtemo, Anim, Goshen, Holon and Jilo, with their cities: Arab, Duma, Eshian, Janam, Beth-Tapua, Aphekah, Humta, Kiriath-Arim, Kirjath-Sepher, that is, Debir, Anab, Beth-Shemesh, Eltekeh and Ithnan with its villages, and Jibo with its towns, 10 cities with their villages. Zenan, Hadasha, Migdal-Gad, Hiloth, Bethanoth and Eltekeh, with their villages: Kiriath-Baal, that is, Kiriath-Jearim and Rabbah, with their villages. In the wilderness: Beth-Arabah, Middin, Sekaka, Nibshan, the city of Salt and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. In the valley: Eshtal, Zorah, Ashna, Zano, Enganim, Tapua, Inam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Soko, Azekah, Sharem, Adataim, Jederah and Jederoth, 14 cities with their villages. In the lowlands: Sharon, Beth-Shemesh, Ijalon, Baalath, Eltekeh, Timnah, Ekron, Ekron with its towns and villages. From Ekron to the sea, all the cities that lay near Ashdod with their villages: Ashdod with its towns and its villages. Gaza with its towns and its villages, as far as the Wadi of Egypt and the Great Sea with its coastline. And the lowlands, the cities of the tribe of Judah with their villages: Ataroth, Shophan, Anab, Eshna, Zano, Enganim, Tapua, Inam, Jarmuth, Zano, Adullam, Lachish and Boskath, with Eglon and Jederah, 2 cities with their villages. Kedesh, Debir, Jokthel, Zano, Jarmuth, Lachish, Azekah and Jederoth, with their villages, and Timnah with its villages. Ziph, Telem, Beloth, Hazer, Hadatta and Kirioth, with their villages. Hamath, Rakath, Kinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazer, Kedesh, Edrei, Hazer, Ayin, Migdal-Gad, Heshmon, Beth-Pelet, Hazar-Shual, Beersheba with its towns and villages. Ziklag, Madmannah, Sansannah, Lebjoth, Shilhim, Ain and Rimmon, with their villages, 29 cities with their villages. In the Negev: Eshtal, Zorah, Ashna, Zano, Enganim, Tapua, Inam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Soko, Azekah, Ziph, Telem, Beloth and Hazer Beth-Marabah, with their villages. Bala, Ijim, Ezem, Eltalad, Kessel, Hormah, Ziklag, Madmannah, Sansannah, Lebjoth, Shilhim, Ain and Rimmon, with their villages, 29 cities with their villages. In the hill country: Shamir, Jatir, Soko, Dana, Kiriath-Sana, that is, Debir, Anab, Eshtemo, Anim, Goshen, Holon, Jilo, with their cities. For the tribe of Judah, according to their families, had these cities.